broken families bring a lot of stress on the children who are staying on single parents, and those single parent children feel they are not wanted, and there's all that chaos. So within all that chaos of broken families, rural urban migration, etiquette, lack of civilization, because urbanization should have brought civilization. But today you could find you're in an urbanized town, but the driving that goes on, the things people do are like rural. They never change their rural. You walk in town, you send someone, you're walking right behind him, and he feels he has a flu, he just swallows the left and removes it and spits on the road and feels nothing. Even in the car, you could be walking, you just feel someone split on you. It's just become a world. There's no etiquette.
They just say it's just the same way where they say you can take a man from the bush, but you cannot take the bush.
So the bush remains in these guys. You find you're driving behind someone, all of a sudden he throws, and it's raining, throws a banana peel. It gets onto your windscreen, it can even make you crash because now you are just actually wiping your windscreen with a banana peel. And it doesn't feel anything. Someone drinking water, throws it out the window. The bottles, that's why we find a lot of junk in this town. We have a lot of waste thrown. Why? Because people are not, we've never gone through the process of urbanization. Days of the white were different because their rules were rules. That's why in every estate there are things that are called bylaws. The bylaws even are there even in this county, even in many counties today. But people don't use the bylaws. But that's what used to dictate. That your dog cannot bark because your neighbors are around. Your dog, you have to tie it. I remember when we were children, we had to tie our dogs in the compound. Loitering dog, it's arrested, you're charged, and it's killed. It's taken to a pond. We never used to have loitering of dogs. You were punished. So that's the responsibility you don't have. So you find a person who has 2 dogs, they have 50 puppies, and the puppies are all over the place. So they just become stray dogs. No one cares. There's lack of responsibility. And that's what I'm trying to say. We're living like we're in the village, yet we're in the urban setup. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. With all that, and with social media for yourselves, it now becomes worse. Because there's so much of social media that cheats us, or cheats the children what they're doing. And so there's a lot of competition, as I told you yesterday, about social media competition. So someone walks, your uncle takes you for today to Sarit Center. And maybe he was going to buy a book at Textbook Center. But you run quickly, pick up your phone, and you take a selfie. And then you say, hanging out with the boys. And now everyone else who sees that on Instagram thinks, hey, this guy, Love is hitting the life. So when it gets onto your Instagram in the village, that boy decides, when me and I go to Nairobi, I have to do what Love is doing. So what does he do? He has no etiquette. You give him a job to do, he's thinking, what can I live with from here to do the life Love does? So you find a lot of corruption has come in because of all that. Competition has brought in corruption, insincerity, there's a lot of bribing, because everyone wants to live the life. And people have realized, people have thought that the money is it. And they forget, money is not everything. It is the joy and the happiness of your heart that creates success in your life. It's not the money is good, yes. I'm not saying money is very good, but the question of excess money, sometimes I look back and ask myself, how much is enough? But no one will ever answer that question. But let me tell you, when you die, the only place you're given is a 6x6. I don't think anyone goes their money. So the question is, why are we acquiring so much to live here? Why don't you just have enough to live with life well? And that's why you find a lot of causes of deaths nowadays. It's attributed to money. The suicide rate is about what you can't have. The amount of people who are drinking and dying on the roads through reckless driving, it's all about chums. The number of things that are happening, you're doing a deal with someone, he just thinks he's clever than you. He plays you the money, you shoot him. So there's a lot of murder, there's all that. And all in the name of following the money. And that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. That's the demon of money has driven the society into thinking that we're here to make money. Life is about making money. And that's why you find in a lot of organizations, young guys don't stay in jobs. Is where can I get the next bit higher than this? And by doing that, it gives them stress. Because sometimes, like I remember the other day you were telling me about, you pass through Nairobi West, 10 o'clock in the morning, people are all drinking. Ask yourself, and this guy is working. I don't think they're all on leave. But there's a lot of cheap money, there's a lot of available money, and there's a lot of wasteful money hanging around. then betting has not helped much. Betting has now even magnified.
Everything.
So people are either betting, or they are doing dirty money, or they are selling drugs, or they are doing quick money. So it's become a society of an ATM society, where you want everything to happen now. I'm 11 years, I will finish school and I'm 18. When I'm 18, by 22, I should be driving my first Subaru. That's the kind of thinking. And then when you listen to that boy who's talking about a Subaru at 25, talk to him and ask him, what do you want to be doing at 40? He tells you, at 40, I'll be flying. And I'm wondering, how many helicopters then will we have in this world? And where is the kind of money to get that kind of helicopter? So what I'm trying to say is that we need to slow down the society. And the slowing down the society is that we need to put a lot of ethics. We need to talk about this real thing, which is mental health. Because we find a lot of those issues that are causing this country, it's just a mental problem. People need to be molded. And we also need a lot of finishing schools. So that people are able to know, when I finish school, I'm not just going to make money, I'm making a career for myself. I've employed various young people, and they have the guts. Even they send you a WhatsApp at midnight and says, boss, I'm sorry, I have resigned. And you look at that SMS and say, it's okay. But in our time, you are thinking about the 3 months notice you have to give these guys. So people used to think about the notice, the 1 month notice. Yeah, we were very cautious about those things. But nowadays, it takes us a pen. And this person has gone with all your passwords of your whole organization through an SMS. So it's also frustrating for even us as employers and mentors to how to mentor you young guys. We would like to mentor you. We would like to see you guys go on the right path. But the pressure you guys are getting from the outside is also affecting us on the inside. Yeah.
So do you think most of the times we as young men, we want to rely on wisdom and advice we get from older men? Because I tend to believe that most of the young men, they don't rely on the advice they get from their grandparents, maybe even people who are older than them. Because, you know, in one way or the other, it has contributed to their lifestyle change or something like that, depending on behavior and character. Because that one has just reminded me. I remember at one given time when I was still in Shags, I used to remember my grandmother used to send me to the shop, and she used to spit on the ground, and she tells me,
and she sends you,
and she sends me somewhere, and she tells me that you should be back even before this saliva,
which is true. Yeah.
And you know, it has to dry. I mean, like, whenever you come back and find that it just dried, you'll have
it's the same way. Maybe if you guys, what you guys used to use is maybe you guys used to use the measure bottle. The measure bottle which you put upside down, then it.
The moment you'd be, by the moment you'll be growing up, you'll know. Yeah, I can see. I have I can see the essence of it. Or now I should always keep tight. Like when you go, you have to rush somewhere. Also come back.
So you learn how to run.
Yeah, so I tend to believe then we still need more of this advice from our great parents, of which now we young men, we feel that you are not necessary at this given time. What are you trying to tell me? I'm born in this conformity of this technology, I have to adapt with this. So I don't see the essence of listening to what you're trying to say. So how are we supposed to cope up with that, you know?
You know, that's why I'm saying, for us, what we've done in TCL and in all our initiatives, is that we are looking at how best to mentor the young man. Because, you know, I know when you look at me, all you say is, now this Buddha, what's he telling me? But this Buddha may just have a tip of gray hair that can help you think twice about what you're planning to do. Because there are things we have seen. None of these things you're doing under the sun are new things. And none of these things we did were even new to our parents. It's just that we are doing them less, you guys are doing more tech. But I look at some of these things, I would even tell you what you're thinking of doing even within a session. And why? Because I have something I have seen, and this is the paths we passed. And we know that some of the paths we passed, if not for intervention of our parents and uncles and our grandparents or teachers, would have gone the wrong way. So what we're trying to do is to mentor you guys, because maybe, one, your parents may not have the time, because parents have become so busy for the children. Two, maybe you have crossed that part where your parents are not, you're not able to listen to a parent, but you could listen to a third person. I have met many parents who tell me, please talk to my son, please talk to them. Like I sit as a chair of the youth, the youth parents in one of our churches, and on the chair, and I sit down with parents, and when I talk to the children and talk to them about real life situations in front of the parents, they keep calling me and telling me, come and talk to our son, because they have lost control over the authority over the children. and they think someone else would be the authority. So now, when the church does not take over authority over the children, because when churches are also losing authority, then it becomes these children, the only authority they listen to is their friends. And that's why children can go to Instagram or they can go on social media and follow a process from the beginning to end and kill themselves, because that's what the process is.
Yeah.
I've seen those things where the people murder themselves through sequences or procedures on internet.
Those funny games and all.
Yeah. And then also another thing that has come in is a lot of devil worship. Yeah, this devil worship, a lot of cultism, and children are running into that. And worse off, a lot of cultism, a lot of new practices are also coming in with money.
Yeah.
You find children able to know, if I join this cult, I'll get 50,000 bob. 50,000 for a child is a lot of money. So when you recruit another second person, you get 30,000. So that's what is going on, and those cults are entering the society very fast. Why? Because of what I was telling you before, that money has become our drive.
Yeah.
Money has become king. Anything for money, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. As we also remain where we are about mental health, there is now in this new dispensation, there is the aspect of, I believe you also know about memes. You've heard about it. Everywhere, memes. Memes are, how would I describe memes? Can you help?
Like YouTube.
Funny clips.
Yeah.
See where you see, let's say someone was making a funny face, and then it's been written wordings apology like a funny wording. Yeah, those are
You
memes.
pick a picture of someone and
create a meme out of it. There's a lot of
how
stigma.
fun it is or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, like right now in Nairobi, you find, like for example, someone will say, kama una HIV we si mwanaume.
Ama mwanaume afai kuoga. Mwanaume ni kuvaa.
Also, when you guys read that, then you don't shower.
I don't.
No,
some of
But that's what I'm saying.
Serious.
So so it forms a movement. It's a movement or something.
Because there was a period I remember, there was it was a week that was trending that mwanaume hata afai kunywa chai, anafaa kukula sumu.
Mwanaume unakunywa aje maji mate uendelee.
And there was a guy by the way who was spotted in a forest, and he said that, and I was following a meme which says that mwanaume afai kulala kwa kitanda, anafaa kuwa analala kwa forest.
So there's a lot of influence through social media.
A lot. And then it became a lot of peer pressure came in between, and then a lot of people even committed suicide out of it, you know. Mwanaume atufai kuwa na dem, unafaa kuwa una roll out na wamama. You say, okay, we are coming to that.
So it comes to what I'm reading for me is that it is what is the in thing is this.
Yeah,
so that in thing, what trends, like now I remember at the time the trending issue was shisha.
Yeah.
You go to any party, you find people are just on shisha. And then if you ask the child why you smoking shisha, he says, but it's fun. Everyone is doing it. It's now trending. So the trend is what goes on.
Cool. It's about taking the videos, looking
smoking
cool.
And smoke comes all the way from the ears and everywhere. That's what now. Then you post that up.
They're like, you guy, you can do that.
You my guy, you're serious.
Yo, bad news. You went to someone that like, yo.
You're hot. So the same thing also. I see these are the things where a lady told now you're here. You're serious. Take this vodka. Until another thing has killed.
So that's a lot of
people. So this society that you guys are living in, is that society of you guy, my guy? You know that society. You know, I normally see that like during the safari rally, it's coming anytime now. We have this. So these you guy, my guys will be going to Vasha. Yeah. So it will be you guy, my guy. Are we going together? And this is the worst thing with the you guy, my guy community or society, is that you guys also, when it comes to things like voting, you don't vote. Because that's the same thing that happens. You go to the line, you say, hey man, so my guy, so how was the vote? How was the line? You guy, my guy, that line is long, man. So you just go with Chapa Dubote, and then now we go in the later. And you're the same guys who are following the politicians the whole month, eating their money. So, but you don't vote for them.
No, when it comes now, safari rally, and then your girlfriend tells you, I want to go, my auntie's feelings.
That's the story.
The uncle, the auntie of my cousin has died, so we have burial at home.
This weekend.
So this
the whole weekend, the phone is off.
And she's gone to Vasha.
And then you're seeing someone trending there in Vasha. That's your babe. You're seeing a video, isn't this Nani? And then she comes back telling you, Akit was so sad. This is my babe dancing in Vasha. So the guy in a sumi.
This looks familiar. Now you wonder, what's
going on? And
then the pressure now becomes worse, and then like just have to take my life. Why is the essence? You know, something.
So you just kill yourself because the chick went to Vasha and she was in this Subaru with this guy?
Yeah, because now you see, because now people start thinking.
Because this girl had promised what? That she will marry you, or
no,
rather...
it's just because, I don't know, I don't know how
you just want to stand out because you're a gentleman. You just want to be faithful in this relationship or something like that. Now she goes to, amekuwa softy sana. And now you find that even in this right now, in this generation, a lady will tell you, maybe me, I just want to roll out with bad boys. I don't want someone who's so calm. I want someone with...
So a guy like this now is the guy to be with.
Someone with rasta, someone who does this. That is what
so that's why even guys are now going into that crazy look. Because I was asking him the other day, why do you like wearing black shades, black t-shirts, and do your hair like you said? I'll never cut my hair because now he's the bad boy. The attraction is serious on your side.
You see, mine is just, I like growing my hair, that's all.
Now bringing the aspect of memes, you know, the memes is trending. The girls are saying we only do boys with beards.
That was
so
a
without
problem.
beards,
you guys are going to an extent.
So you know you want to
the
now.
guys are going to paint beards,
and then paint
transplants, all those things. Because now you want a babe to just come touch your beard while you're chilling. Now you're told mwanaume bila beard.
But let me ask you, those babes are now like our daughters.
So they're like,
so now it's our daughters who are messing you guys up like this. So the boy child is in trouble. And what is this that you guys are seeing in the girl that unless she does, you guys will not, you don't follow her?
Like, to be very honest, there's a thing that is going on. It's been going on for a while, and I know it's giving girls a lot of sleepless nights. This thing between a slender body type and a thick babe. Now, the ones who are slightly curvy or very curvy are getting all the attention. This slender
so that's why these girls are going and also piercing themselves.
They're doing Botox, doing it. Because now guys are like, you don't even have a bum, you're not even curvy.
It's not very well.
What is that? Me and you can be, what do we look like? The same? No, bana. So she goes.
Let me ask you, are you guys living in the same world we're living in? Are we going to the same? Are we going to the same heaven we are going to?
Everything.
Are we living in this? Are we living this town together?
Yeah,
we are exiting together.
It's crazy because now there's also that thing of there was a time it was a trend for babes to shave short hair. There's a time you saw most babes are having short hairs.
So they
and then it goes to wigs. Now they're wearing, a babe, you get to the crib, she chucks her hair. You're like,
This is what.
Wow, hey, wait. You know, there's a time I used to stay in Resa.
Resa means who?
Resambu.
Or Resambu.
Yeah. So in that building, there's this babe who used to stay, I think, 6th floor. After every weekend, you'd find her hair hanging, like clothes. It's drying. A whole week. Now if the hair is taking a whole week to dry and to just chuck the smell, now imagine the amount of sweat that babe has gone through. She's hanging her hair a whole week. Nakauka. Can't go. Whole week. That's there. And you see a babe, she's doing this. Hey, you think, wow, she has nice hair. You get the house. Matuta.
And this is now maybe the girls can't get money, so they end up going to babas now.
That's another problem. Hey, our babas are doing
babas now.
Hey,
your babas are doing that.
The baby is tough. You're there chilling, you're walking, you're doing it like a small one, maybe you even umejifinya, even paying for her Uber when you guys are. Guy pulls up in a Mac. It's like, hey, babes, mona time ya peke yako
you are not being seen.
You're literally next to her. And she's like, baby, no, the sun, babe, I'll call you once I get home. You're like, yeah.
And she goes,
evil.
With this mbaba.
And they go. And you're there too, like, here. So
it depresses you.
And now you start thinking of, now I don't have money.
Take drugs.
Now you start seeing guys are drinking. Me, this baby, she leaves me. Yeah.
So you want to say a lot of alcohol taking and drugs is because the girls have taken you guys Chico?
As a matter of fact, our generation, a lot of drug use is not because they want to, it's them escaping something. Maybe at home, the parents are just pressure. You come, the baby.
What pressure would a parent be giving you? Like now, what pressure would I avoid to give my children that would make them go into that direction? What is the pressure?
Like telling them what you see. At times, right now, you see most people are like artists coming up. you know, the art sector is now growing and it's being embraced. But there are parents who are still in the, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer. If you try going to arts, you're like, you're delinquent, what are you doing? Unaendaje arts? Sasa kwenda kukaa mbele ya kamera kuongea ni kitu shwali. You will never go anywhere. And you find the kid is like, wow.
But you see now your parents, you can't blame your parents, because our time, we were brought up in the generation of so many vijana pia uweke bidii, mwisho wa kusoma utapata kazi nzuri. So that's how we